Hi guys, and welcome back to Rachel's Enchanting Cakes. Now today we're going to be doing the Cookie Monster. Again, using extremely simple pieces of equipment that most of you will already have. This is one that's great for the kids to get involved in as well. I take you through everything step by step, everything you need to know. Please come on, give it a go. It's completely free. If you like what you see, do support the channel by subscribing, sharing this tutorial, and happy baking guys. I will be back soon with an awful lot more content. In order to make the Cookie Monster, again I'm using very basic, simple pieces of equipment that most of you will already have. So if I start with the colours that I'm using, the three main colours I am choosing to use: Renshaw's Atlantic Blue, Renshaw's Poppy Red, and because I only need some of the colours to be changed black and different shades of brown, I'm going to do that myself using the Renshaw's White and a small amount of food colouring. Again, ingredients wise, you're going to need some Tylo powder, just so that we can turn a small amount of this into modelling paste. The usual edible glue. Again, if you've watched any of my tutorials before, I like to make my edible models on a 4-inch round cake drum or a 5-inch round cake drum. They can either remain on this or you can take them off once they're set and place it onto the cake, but it's a great keepsake for the customer. They can physically lift this off very easily without damaging the cake topper and keep it forever. Some icing sugar. And then equipment wise, very basic simple pieces of equipment. Now, I'm choosing to use If Stanley knife just because it's extremely sharp and cuts perfectly, but any sharp knife will do. A Dresden tool, most of you will already have one of these. A rolling pin. This I have used before. It is the Gem 233 Grass Fir Piping Nozzle. And finally, a lollipop stick. We will simply be using this to help support the structure of our edible Cookie Monster. Now let's make a start. The first thing we need to do is turn a small amount of our Atlantic Blue Renshaw's fondant into modelling paste. I'm just going to show you how to do this in case you've never watched any of my tutorials before. Taking your Tylo powder, you simply just add a very small amount to the centre. Now, if you wanted to turn the whole packet of 250 gram into modelling paste, you add 1 level teaspoon of Tylo powder. This is only a 1/4 of a teaspoon because I'm not turning the whole packet into modelling paste. And then you simply knead in the powder. It really is as simple as that. Now at the moment this is lovely and soft and pliable, as you can see, but once it's left to be exposed to the air and starts to set, it will set lovely and hard and just help support the body of your Cookie Monster that little bit more. To make the body, start by taking your 4-inch round cake drum and simply sprinkle over some icing sugar. This will just help so everything's sticking to the drum as it sets. Here I have the modelling paste we've just made. Start by rolling it into a ball shape and getting rid of all of those creases. Once you have done this, you then want to turn it more into a cone. So placing your fingers on one end of the ball, simply roll it until you end up developing more of a cone-like shape. Once you're happy with the shape you have, place it towards the back of your drum. And now we're just going to add some support before this starts to set. So taking your lollipop stick, place this directly through the centre of your cone. And the part that's remaining just here on the top will help support the head. Now for the feet, you have to remember that most of the leg is going to actually be covered with fur. So we need the foot that isn't going to be covered with fur to be an awful lot larger than the leg. So we're going to actually do them separately. If I just show you this first at an angle, you can see how the leg's going down the side, that's all going to get covered with fur. Then we have our little foot just here, which isn't going to get covered with fur, but because we've got a nice big gap just there, it means there's plenty of room when we start using that fur nozzle and creating the real Cookie Monster. So for the first part of the leg, you want to start with a simple sausage shape. Again, I always use simple shapes in my tutorials. But you want one end to be slightly larger than the other. This is going to be going down the side of the body. This against the body. I'm not going to add any edible glue just yet. I just want to position it correctly first. So it wants to be around there. So if I just hold this up again, you can see how we've got both of the sides. And now it's just a case of creating the foot for the end. Really, really simple shapes again. Just taking another small amount of your Atlantic blue. This time you want to roll it more into a ball shape first. Place it on your work surface. And then we're going to manipulate it more into a foot shape. Now just before we start to place it on here, first of all align it up with your other foot just to check it's roughly the same size. And then, again, a very simple tool, one that most of you will already have, taking your Dresden tool. You don't have to do this, it just helps give the character a little bit more definition. I'm just adding some very small indentations at the top of the foot. So you've got something just like that. And then using a small amount of edible glue, simply place this onto your Cookie Monster. Now for the head, the Cookie Monster has a really large one. This is the main reason we've made this from modelling paste. It's not completely set yet, it will take overnight to set, but we can add the head. All I have done, again, this time I've taken quite a bit of Atlantic blue because he wants to have a large head, but it is just fondant that I am adding. Roll it into a ball. Now remember again, we are covering all of this with fur towards the end. So just try and get it into a ball shape first. Small amount of edible glue just on top of the cone and where the lollipop stick is, and then place on Cookie Monster's head. Now I can't place this at an angle just yet because he is going to start tipping back. He needs chance to set for a short amount of time. So this part is going to be quite difficult for me because I am going to tip him back just because I need to show you how to do the mouth. So I'm going to place him at an angle. I may have to put my hand behind his head because he has a very large mouth, doesn't he? And you want to do that before this fondant does start to set. So using a very sharp knife, simply cut straight into the fondant, and you want to go quite deep. And then we are going to pull some down and some up. Don't worry that it's not neat yet because we still have the black to add, but you get the idea. If you are struggling, just using a Dresden tool, you start to neaten it all up and you slowly make this mouth bigger and smoother. I'm just going to hold him up to the camcorder so that you can see what I have so far. That's the sort of shape you're looking for. Now, if you can remember what I mentioned about the head still setting, I'm just going to show you what you need to do to add a bit more definition to this mouth. All I have here is some of the Renshaw White, which I have coloured my black myself just because it's such a small amount. Using a very sharp knife, start to cut out a rough circle shape. Doesn't have to be perfect. Because you're working with fondant, you can use your Dresden tool because it's lovely and soft to shape in there properly, and we'll just take that away. I then want a small amount of edible glue, which I'm going to place just inside my mouth, both on the bottom and the top. You then want to take what you have just cut, we can cut off any excess in a bit, and add it to your mouth. Now for this, you will want to use the Dresden tool. Slightly glossy at the moment because I've just brushed off some excess icing sugar, but that's the sort of thing you're aiming to achieve. Now don't worry if it's not absolutely perfect around these side parts, because again, remember, we are going to be covering it with fur very soon. You can see I've already made one of the arms just here. We're going to make them separately and then place them onto our Cookie Monster. And again, it's very, very simple. This is not modelling paste, this is fondant, because it's actually going to be stuck directly to the Cookie Monster's body, so it does not need to be able to support itself, the body will support it for us. Start by rolling a small amount of your fondant, Atlantic Blue again, into a cone shape, just like so. We then want this end of the cone to fan out, so just simply push it down. Remember, it's going to be hugged onto the body, and you can place these wherever you want on there. This is just a guide for you. Once you've got this sort of shape, we then need to create the fingers. So you want to have 4 slots. So if you're using your sharp knife, just cut in there 4 times. Really is as simple as that. Obviously, these look a little bit sharp. So to make them look that little bit smoother, using your Dresden tool and taking your time, just go around the edges. It's fondant, so it will manipulate really, really easily. Remember, some of this may lose its shape when we pick it up to place it on our Cookie Monster. But again, all of these fingers are going to be covered with fur. So that is what you are aiming to achieve. Now we're going to apply these to our Cookie Monster. This is the easy part and the fun part, and then we can add the fur and add all those perfect finishing touches. Just position these exactly where you want them. So taking some edible glue, apply that to the back, be very generous with it. Now I'm choosing, first of all, you want to have the arm on the side, but I want this one coming up to his mouth, because the Cookie Monster's constantly eating cookies. Now, if you can see what I meant, if I push the fingers just onto that mouth section, and then the actual body is going to support the rest of my arm. That's the great thing about doing the body in modelling paste as well. So that's coming up to his mouth, but the body's supporting it. Don't worry if it looks bulky on the sides, because as soon as you start adding fur, it does hide a lot of the bulkiness, which is why you need to make those feet extra bulky, for example, and that mouth extra large. Now this one, because I am going to be having a cookie jar, I think I'm going to rest more on his foot going down towards the cookie jar. It just gives him a bit more definition instead of him having both arms just coming round like that. So again, just adding some edible glue to the back. Position it on the side roughly at the same height as the previous one. Get it exactly where you want it. So to support this, I've got part of his fingers on the belly and then the rest is on his tummy. That's just perfect. It's the Cookie Monster rubbing his tummy. I'm just going to align up these arms on the side and just make sure everything is touching that body. Now we get to do the fun bit. I have the perfect buttercream recipe also available as a separate tutorial, and I will leave a link to that for you in the description below this video. The colour I have chosen to use to colour my buttercream is by Americolour, and it is the Royal Blue. This is by far one of my favourites. I have found when you use these colours you don't need to use much at all. They do tend to be more expensive than some of the other brands, but they are a fantastic investment. and will last you an awful long time. All I have here is my coloured buttercream and the fur nozzle piping tip, this small one. I would also advise that you have some kitchen roll to hand, as this can get quite messy. So what I'm going to start doing, I'm going to start with his face and literally just cover all of him apart from the bases of his feet in buttercream. To do this, you want to push down gently and pull and then let go. It really is as simple as that. You can do it another way where you push down and pull out, but he's not got that sort of fur. It's more dangling down his face. So push and then pull, just so it's going over his mouth slightly. You see those bits sticking off the end? Keep on wiping those off using your kitchen roll. And one very good tip for you when you're covering this: if you go wrong, do not throw him away. All you do is wipe off the buttercream and start again. So if I just remove that where it's gone a little bit too far over the mouth, just using my Dresden tool, and then we simply repeat that process and cover him up. So you get the idea. I'm now going to cover him from head to toe, show you what he looks like, and then we're going to add those perfect finishing touches. How amazing does he already look? The next step is to add the eyes. Again, very simple shapes, no special equipment involved. All I have done is rolled 2 balls of white fondant and then just added a small amount of black. We just need to add now that small little cookie jar that we have at the front, and obviously the cookie that he's munching on. You can see here that I've just added a cookie to his mouth. Very simple, so I'm just going to show you exactly what I did. I've coloured a small amount of my Renshaw's fondant, a light brown, rolled it into a bowl, and then I just pushed it down onto my surface. And then taking a darker coloured fondant, again, just by colouring your white Renshaws, if you roll it into small balls and push it in there, you get more of a cookie effect. Really, really simple. You want it to be fondant so that you can place it into this mouth easily. And then you just position it exactly where you want it. So that's how you want to make your main cookie for the actual mouth. For the cookie jar, take a small amount of your Poppy Red Renshaws that we had at the beginning of this tutorial. We're going to shape this on the board and then we need to place it directly on there. But then we need the cookies coming out of the actual jar. That one might be okay, we can pop that on the front just there. Manipulate the shape. A cookie isn't a perfect round shape, and then just repeat the process. So I'm going to roll smaller balls this time, push it down on your surface just to get a nice round shape. A little bit of your dark brown, that's for the actual chocolate chips inside those cookies. Small amount of edible glue. And we'll brush off some of that icing sugar as well, because this one is actually going onto the fondant. Just place it on there and literally keep on building it up, and I will show you what it looks like when it's completed. How adorable and cute does he look? Now, I've gone a little bit crazy with the cookies because he was just looking so cute, so I've actually added one to his head. But at the end of the day, he's the cookie monster, guys. He loves his cookies. Give it a go. You've seen I've used really simple shapes and techniques. I haven't used much equipment, so it's great for everybody, especially if you get the kids involved. Happy baking, guys, and I will be back soon with even more tutorials. Take care, everyone.